Morning. I made notes for this one, but I have to be quiet because I'm probably being eavesdropped on by the sheep inside. It is astounding the number of people, the religious zealots, that have no idea what they're worshiping, what they're reading, what they're anything. I was obsessed as a child with the Bible, and I read it thoroughly over and over, cover to cover, in pieces, all that. I think the reason why is because there was so much wrong with it, but it's just amazing to me. Most people have no knowledge of it. So, I do not follow it. I do not worship the God of the Bible. The Old Testament God is a sadist. Now, Jesus is a different matter. His message is fine. It's solid. There was someone that came down and did that, but most people don't read his message because fundamentally we have to save ourselves. And that's what his actual message says. Now, another thing that people don't realize, too, like, italicized words in the King James Bible means they were added. That does not mean emphasis or anything. That means they were added in. They weren't even in the original text. FYI. So Yahweh was the god El that was worshipped by the ancient Hebrew patriarchs. He was a tribal god. And Abraham made all of his offerings to the god El. Yahweh was not the supreme creator. And the urban Canaanites changed El, the name El, later to Baal. Which means Yahweh is Baal. And we all know who Baal is. B-A-A-L. Okay. The first sentence of the Bible was changed. It used to say the Elohim and God created the heavens and the earth. But then they just said God created the heavens and the earth. But the problem is they didn't change the tense in all of the rest of the text. A lot of places it'll say they, we. Well, I don't know what the Old English word is, but anyhow. Yahweh was actually kicked out of the Elohim. Jeremiah 4 tells of him destroying the earth in a fit of rage. And so then they had to rebuild it in Genesis. Now, I think it's after the plasma. I think Adam and Eve were post-apocalyptic cataclysm survivors, but that's another topic. So, Psalm 18:7 actually describes what starts at 7, it goes 7 to 17, describes Yahweh as a dragon. It says, smoke rose from his nostrils, fire came from his mouth. It goes on about he flew and just different things. So he was involved in the creation of the earth. He was on the team that made the earth. There was a team. There wasn't just one. Many times the Bible declares him to be a jealous God, and you will have no other gods before me, which means there are other gods to choose from. And there were tons of them. He's a vengeful, murderous, and egomaniacal being. He's what I would, he's not what I would consider a god by any means. I mean, sure, by the strict definition of the word God, he is, which is a creator being, maybe he is. But if you're judging by moral character, no. He proclaims to be a jealous God and then makes jealousy a sin. I mean, come on here. Wouldn't a God worthy of worship lead by example? Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Why create evil? And the interlinear version says he creates confusion instead of evil. Is that better? Why would you do that to your creation? Yahweh, or the Lord, is used 7,000 times in the Bible. 7,000 times. That's a little overkill. I think he's trying to convince himself he's as important as he thinks he is. One interesting parallel passage, I don't know who the editors must have messed it up, is 2 Samuel 24, 1 through 9, and 1 Chronicles 21, 1 through 6. They named the Lord and Satan as the same person, essentially. You'll have to look them up. But it's like they're saying that, he did this. And in one thing, it's Satan. And then in the other one, it's the Lord. And it's clearly, you'll have to look that up. That's a little research for you. I didn't write those verses down. But it is a clue for those of us that have read it enough. We see those errors. We know that, wait a minute, that was him that did that. And then you go back and you find it. I'm not exactly sure the history of the biblical text. I have to do that for another topic. But I do know also that Yahweh isn't the Most High. The Bible says that. Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion, his people, is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So Yahweh inherited Jacob. So the other people, inherited other things. But the point is when the Most High divided the nations. So the Most High divided them and separated them, and then gave the Lord a portion, which means the Lord isn't the Most High. And then Psalm 82, God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. So he stands, and in I think the Hebrew it says he stands in the congregation of the Elohim. It says Elohim. It says Elohim standeth in the congregation of the Elohim. Elohim judges among the Elohim or something, because Elohim is the word for ancient, the ancient gods. So some argue that it's the elves. I don't know. Maybe giants. Who knows? We have no idea. We don't know our history. And religious zealots don't know the Bible. So it's just a few things you can look up, ponder, think about. But Yahweh, to me, I think is a reptilian, or a dragon, a draconian. Have a good day.